Hello. Balls, balls.
Balls.
Why do you do that?
Wieners, wieners, wieners. Balls, balls, balls. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah, I can.
Mike. Hey, Mike. Mike. Hey. Hey, Mike. 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 Mike.
What? Dude,
My
stop, dude.
pussy hurt.
We are live right now.
No, we're not.
We are.
I don't believe you.
We are.
Sure.
Did you see?
Dude, Mike, I don't like your attitude right now.
Did you see, bro?
No, I don't see anything. But what I do see is your attitude, and I don't like it right now.
Bro, go onto our Twitch or go onto our freaking thing, bro.
How about suck me and no? Oh wow. Ooh.
I put it in a buffer. Look.
Wildsmash.com, huh?
Phil Mickelson, a lot of shit though. At Jordan Spieth's wedding, Jordan got married in November.
We really are
and
live though.
Phil was there, and it was the day after.
Do you see I have this buffer?
I don't see what a buffer is.
Look at my screen, dude.
Stream starting soon.
You can read so good, dude.
So what does that mean?
Means I'm just having it live, and so fucking we can post on our Instagrams.
They could hear us right now?
Yeah.
If we were actually doing it? Ee. I don't believe you. What's her name again? Lanolin? Lanolin? Like sheep's wool?
All right, bro. Guys,
What?
we are live.
We did it. We did it.
We did it. Hooray. We climbed over the magic mountain. Why is this a thing?
We are live. We
TikTok.
are live.
That's the great thing about having not very many followers.
You got Tyreek Hill on the board?
No.
That could possibly be suspended for
Yeah.
life.
We can talk about it. But we're starting right now, so
Yeah, I know.
okay.
Doesn't mean we can't talk.
Yeah, it's very true.
Don't fucking yell at me, Mike.
Dude, I'll
Dude.
Dude, you better sip that
You ever
beer.
caught a wine cork bottle closer to the throat?
No, but I'm about to try right now, dude. I feel like I just spilled my beer. Oh, there it is. It's like, where did it go? Okay.
You ever watch Mike's videos with his hammers and his beers and his all this other weird shit that he does?
You ever seen
No,
Anthony-
we live with him, so we see it all the time in live.
Have
You
you ever
ever
seen
seen me with
Anthony
my-
read magazines on his Instagram?
You like that, bro? That's
I just
creative
want to know.
minds.
All right,
I
I have a
read.
question really quick.
Yeah. What's up?
Okay, when you took that picture, did you set up like a timer on your phone?
Yeah, I did. I had it. How else would I take it?
But then, like when you were reading it,
I
were
just,
you
I just
actually
opened a
like?
random page. Just look up. That was a book
Yeah,
about.
because I was gonna
creative
say
minds,
like
though.
he couldn't have been like actually reading it.
He probably flipped it open to an extends ad.
Like, did you finish that page and then you were like, oh, let me go see how that picture came out, and then you did another
Yeah,
one.
exactly what I did. 100%.
Hey man, if you're gonna come at me for my hammer time, I gotta
Dude, come on, man.
Fire
I don't care.
back.
I admitted it.
welcome to episode 53 of the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast. We're out here live.
We're like almost at 100.
Episode 53, Revenge of the Fantasy Football Counselor.
We'll get to that later on, unless you
Okay.
want to open with that.
No. First of all, can I just address something?
What?
I don't appreciate guys talking shit about me when I'm not here. Like, oh, yo, it's your boy T. Have you ever called him T? No one calls him T.
No one calls it.
Yeah, because who does call you T? I've never heard anyone call you that.
Listen, it's your boy T here. Average Bros Fantasy Football.
They call me Big Dick Mike.
I've never heard that.
Never heard of it.
Exactly. That's what you do. Making shit up. Disrespectful.
They call me Reading Rainbow.
Dude, you do read all the rainbows. All right. What are we talking about today, boys?
What do we got? Should we start
Let's
with the
start-
Tyreek Hill news then, since it's not on the board, so we don't forget it?
Yeah, we can start that. Let's start off with that.
All right. Well, let me see if I can find it. Well, basically, Tyreek Hill has a battery. What is it? A battery case? Have you guys read about it too much?
I've seen a couple things people posted. Oh, Tyreek Hill got suspended, or he got let go from the Chiefs. All this stuff. Jesus, what's going on over there? All right, I seen a lot of stuff like he got a release and stuff, but it was all April Fool's pranks.
Nah, it's like a.
They got my ass.
I'm reading on it kind of a little bit right now. What it is, it's like a child. It's like a child abuse thing, kind of along the lines of AP. But before he came into the league, he slipped in his draft price because I know he had domestic violence with his girlfriend or fiance, whoever he's with now or whatever she is. That sounds kind of fucked up, but the woman in his life, there was kind of a battery charge. So I know, like, I was listening to, I think it might have been like, I don't remember the podcast. It might have been like Roto World or something, but they were talking about how certain charges that happen before the league can carry over into the league. So let's just say this is a battery or domestic violence. Like, they can kind of hold what he did prior to being in the NFL and college against him in this case. So there's potential for like a big time suspension with this if it actually goes to court and kind of is something that he's proved guilty of. So just something to watch out for.
Didn't he, like, I saw something that said that he broke his kid's arm. Or is it his kid or his step kid or his baby mama's kid or something like that?
Something along the lines of that.
It's like a
Let's just say
child, though. It's like an
child
infant or
in
whatever.
his life. So let's just say that way.
I read something that the incident was that the kid broke his arm, and that's why it's like such a severe
Punishment.
punishment, or like why it's being under investigation. But has he been proven guilty for anything like that yet? Or
Not as of yet, but I mean, think back to like his teammate, like Kareem Hunt. Like, you know, we just kind of thought it was what is it, under the rug? What's that phrasing about?
You just like sweep it under the rug.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
everyone just kind of swept it under the rug. Like we didn't really think much of it, and then come to find out,
It was once a video got released. Like unless there's a substantial evidence, it's just I feel like the NFL kind of ignores it until they can't.
Yeah, I mean it could be one of those things that pops up though. Is what I'm saying. It's
Right.
just something to
It
kind
could
of
show up.
It's just something to monitor throughout the offseason. Like, don't be surprised. I feel like every year there's one major player that has some kind of going to be suspended for 6 games or not, and maybe this is the Tyreek Hill that's got that for next year.
Right.
Well, with that being said, he's going in like the second round right now in like PPRs and like half PPR leagues. Would you gonna take a gamble on him then, or would you like kind
I
of
don't-
like instead of like gambling and then maybe like you said like 4 or 5, 6 games into the season, all of a sudden he gets suspended for maybe the rest of the year, or would you rather just go with a guy you don't even have to worry about a suspension? You know, maybe like a Dalvin Cook, Michael Thomas. I don't know, one of those kind
I
of
mean,
guys.
if his value drops, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, as of right now, it's still just it's so early that I can't make that call. Let's say we're coming onto August. As of right now, it wouldn't affect me. Let's say we're coming into August, and there's a lot of rumors that let's just say he has like a trial date set during midseason or a trial date set like during draft season. That's when it would change my mind. Right now, there's really nothing set, no court date, nothing official, so it's not going to change my mind. If we were drafting today, I wouldn't let it affect my opinion on Tyreek Hill and where I would take him. But let's say we come August, September, we start doing these drafts and there's a lot of, hey, he has a court date set for October. Then that's where I'd maybe tie that into a tiebreaker then. But as of right now, like I said, it's nothing so far. But it is something where, if you're in a dynasty too, you got to be a little worried, maybe because this could be potentially a big suspension. I wouldn't necessarily go out and trade him, but I would just keep an eye on it. And maybe if something pops out really relevant, then maybe you start trying to shop him before people, catch note of it. But
Yeah.
people in Dynasty are usually pretty savvy. They're usually listening year round because they're playing year round. So
Yeah. Until something happens, I don't think he's gonna drop value though too much.
yeah, as Mike would say, dolphinally.
Dolphinally, turtly for sharks. You guys want to hop
sharks?
in, talk about our boy? I thought he was older than he is, but Jordy Nelson retires.
how old is he?
I think he's like the same age as.
He's old as fuck, so he's probably like,
He's like Tyler
my
Rich.
age.
32.
I think he's
I
like
think he's 33
32.
this season, right?
Yeah, he's like 32, 33.
Yeah, he wasn't that. Yeah.
But he played in the NFL for like 10 years. I mean, Jordy Nelson retiring from the NFL. Just a savage, though. Towards the end of the year, last couple seasons, before he went to the Raiders, he put up like wide receiver 1 numbers just, with Aaron Rodgers every single year. So definitely a fantasy fan. Fantasy favorite of the fans.
That's what it's like. Jordy Nelson. Okay, this is just kind of makes me think of Antonio Brown here. Jordy Nelson, the year before he was on the Raiders, he still had he was like fantasy relevant. He had a pretty decent year.
Against
Yes,
the Dolphins, yeah.
some games, yes.
He had, but I mean, in like relatively, even that tail end of his career.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously AB. I think is a better wide receiver, but it kind of goes to the fact that AB's value. I don't think it's just not the same in Oakland
Yeah.
as it is in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. AB, this right here has AB going in the second round, the middle of the second round. I don't think that's too bad for his value, but I don't know. There are some guys there I probably would take over him
Yeah,
for his value.
second round,
Yeah.
AB.
I'm trying to think if I actually ever had Jordy Nelson on any of my teams. I believe I traded for him at one point.
I had him that one year when he came back from the ACL, and I got him super late. I can't remember what round, 6th round, 7th round, something like stupid. And he just like balled out. He had like 14 touchdowns, like 1,500 yards or something. He finished as the wide receiver 2 on the year. Owners have agreed to a rule change where you can now challenge pass interference for offense and defense. So you were telling me when this came out, you hated it. You thought it was stupid. Well, why do you feel like that?
I just think even though you only have 2 challenges, I just seen a lot of people talking about it, and it makes sense. Like the only one team voted against it. It was the Bengals.
The Bengals.
The Cincinnati Bengals voted against it. But yeah, man, it just doesn't. To me, it doesn't like. It's just gonna slow down the game more. I think like there's gonna be people are just gonna be throwing the ball up and then challenging it, and then like there's a lot of people are saying is like you can't. It's a judgment call. Like it's a 50-50 thing. Like when you can go and review if someone touched outside, went out of bounds or not. Like you can see like is their foot out of bounds or is it not? You know what I mean? But this is like it's too close. A lot of times it's like a 50-50 call. It kind of depends on the ref. It's almost like a just kind of it's made to be like a human eyeball interaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you have to challenge it, you're adding in this challenge on something that you can't like put it down as a fact of, oh yes, this was definitely pass interference. Oh, this wasn't. They showed like this guy was talking about it and said that he went to something where they did like an instant replay review and they had like 100 people in the stands, and they said they played like a bunch of different plays, and they had people like you had a thing you could vote on it, yes or no, whether or not it was pass interference or not, or if they should have called it back or not. And like almost there was only like 3 or 4 things that were unanimous. The rest of them for pass interference calls were all like 60-40, 70-30, like 50-50. Like they were all really close. So I just don't think like it's gonna be a slippery slope. And I think like eventually, dude, they're gonna be like, oh, why can't you challenge for like a holding call? Oh, we seen holding on there. Like it's like once you start doing all these judgment challenges, it ends up slippery slope.
Slippery slope, slippery slap.
No, I
think
get it.
you can't challenge though, just to the small point of where you said that they're going to throw it up and just get pass interference. I believe you can't challenge inside the 2-minute warning.
Yeah,
so there is that to where someone, like you said, someone can't just throw it up and just be like, Hail Mary, pass interference challenge, trying to get another shot. So there is that to it.
Yeah, I think you can't challenge. Is that how the challenge rule works in general?
So, I believe so. I'm on your side of the fence, but go ahead, Tyler. I think it's fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm like dumb. I don't really care, but I don't think it's dumb. But I don't think it's great. It's like whatever. But I mean, just I think that if like as a Saints fan or the New Orleans Saints, like they love this rule, and like if this rule would have been there, they would have been the Super Bowl. And the way the Super Bowl played out, the Saints probably would have just shellacked the Patriots. Yeah, like they probably would have. They would have won that game,
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, though, is that
so as a Saints fan, you're probably thinking like this is a good rule.
Yeah, but dude, look at okay. Remember when Jesse James had that touchdown against the Patriots, like week 13, and it was kind of like
that was a touchdown.
Okay, so after that, now how like they're giving these passes, they were way different about like passing what constitutes like
because they got like stupid with the catch rule. It was like retarded.
So that's why. But they went backwards after that crazy play that changed the game. So it's like, dude, don't you think after last year when that play happened, even if they didn't do this rule, refs would have just been on top of it and like be on top of pass interference. They were probably gonna fucking call pass interference more because they don't want to miss shit like that, like game-changing plays like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like the rule wasn't necessary. They were going to do that anyways.
It all comes down to this. I've said it before in the past. You can't have the best like athletes in a sense, like in the world running super fast and making all these super quick movements, and then have like 60-year-old niggas out here who can't fucking see. You need to have some 30-year-old dudes, refs out there who can keep up with them, who are like healthy, who can see. You should be able to. You should have to take a 20/20 vision eye test or whatever to be a ref. You shouldn't just be some 60-year-old guy.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, bro.
It
really is.
They are pretty old.
They're old as fuck, bro, and they're supposed to see motherfuckers go like.
Well, people will argue that the reason
like lightning bolts.
People might argue, like they're old because they've been around in the league and they've seen like the rule changes and stuff like that, so they're able to like be like wise enough to make the right decision. But I kind of would agree. I mean, dude, don't you think
there should be like an age limit, or like you should have to like always like take the certain tests to be the ref of the year?
They put glasses on, dog. What do you think?
What are they, fucking Steven Glansberg over here?
Who's that jackass referee for a minute?
I love when you say that.
Ed Hockley?
Wait, what?
Wasn't there was like a referee who was pretty buff for like a ref. It was like Ed Hockley.
Ed Hockley, yeah.
And yeah, he's pretty shredded, bro.
But no, I get what you're saying though.
You're
like
into referees now or what?
Yeah, bro. I'm into referees.
I think one of the bad things is that like you're saying like now this just kind of opens the door for like, okay, next year are we gonna like challenge every holding call? Like, are we gonna challenge like, did you rough the passer or did you not? Like,
yeah, that's where.
And it's like every play realistically, there's holding. Every play realistically, you could call pass interference.
Yeah,
like it's a physical sport. You're gonna see a lot of contact like that.
What are you laughing at?
Because I typed in Ed Hockley and then in the Google search bar it's like Ed Hockley biceps.
That's like the search thing.
It's funny as fuck.
The people are out there searching for Ed Hockley's biceps.
I thought like funny. A porn or something was gonna pop up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm on Mike's side of it. I think it's dumb. I think it's a judgment call thing to where it's like he pointed out to, it's like, yeah, it's going to be an effective rule maybe like 2 out of every 100 times, but there's going to be pass interference calls where it's like an argument, and then they might actually reverse it to. Like, I've seen it in baseball. I always use baseball, but I've seen it in baseball where they end up making a wrong call that was the right call. So they might even make a pass interference call that it's going to come down to a judgment
They had it
call.
right first, yeah.
They had it right the first time, and then maybe on
How
the
many
spot,
times when they're replaying of like a pass interference?
is everyone arguing about it?
Oh my God, you're in the
Every
bar
fucking
and
time.
every other person says one different thing.
Yeah, I literally think it's stupid. You're basically catering to the 2 out of 100 times, like you said, where it's unanimous that it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the Saints, that shouldn't have happened to them, but it is what it is. It's a judgment call. Now you're dealing with all these stupid ticky-tacky. Like, is that a foul? Is it not? Like, all this, like, it's just gonna, like Mike said, it's gonna slow the game down so much.
I mean, you
There's
still
certain
only get the
elements where
same.
It's like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's left to be to the human judgment call, you know. And I just think this is something to where it's I hate the rule change. I'm on
Yeah.
Mike's side. I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love
I
it.
think
I don't
in
hate
theory,
it. I'm just like
when
whatever.
I first heard about it, before I heard opposing arguments, in theory I was like, oh, like this doesn't hurt. But when you actually look at what the future could hold,
Yeah.
Once you open Pandora's box,
Yeah,
though,
Pandora's box has been open.
you can't fucking close it back up.
It does
dude.
sound dumb, like you're saying. I could just chug it 50 yards and like, if it's close, I could be like, yo, what? Pass interference.
Like, yeah.
And then
Like
next
that could be a play. Like,
someone
yo, I'm
will-
just gonna chug it up deep. We'll call pass interference.
Yeah, you
Even
think
if the guy intercepts you, you can be like, well, bro, it's pass interference, right?
You think homie Bill Belichick isn't going to do that
is
this
it take
season?
advantage of this rule.
Yeah, fuck yeah, he
And then
will.
all he needs is like someone lose a game because the quarterback gets hit too late. And now it's like, oh, let's challenge fucking get the quarterback getting hit too late. And it's
Yeah.
just like, I hate it. I hope it gets gone after this year. Gets
Yeah.
gone.
There
Nigga
was.
gets gone.
Can we talk about roughing the passers this past year? How bad? Remember that one on Brady where he
yeah.
just like it was just like a forearm to like the shoulder, and they called it roughing the passer.
Yeah, but
Remember
it was
that?
just stupid. Like one of the Dolphins players, he tore his ACL because he went to go sack Derek Carr, I think it
Who
was,
was
and like he didn't want to land on him, so he tried to like slide off at the last second or something, and like he tore his ACL because of that.
Damn,
And it's just
dude.
ridiculous. Like
passer roughing the.
the roughing the passer rule is ridiculous. You can't even touch them. It's fucking football. It's supposed to be violent.
Yeah, dude, it's funny when we watch like. Have you ever seen clips of the AAF?
Nah.
Oh,
When
hey, RIP to the AAF. That shit folded.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. RIP.
Damn,
That
that
was
was
quick.
quick.
Yeah.
My fantasy team.
Bro,
My dynasty.
Bro,
My
that-
AAF
They didn't have
dynasty.
enough money. They weren't getting.
yeah, I mean, dude, they were trying to. I mean, you got to think like you got to have so much money.
Well, Mike
to
said
make
they
a
were
league.
making like fake crowd noises in the games.
Dude, on their Instagram, yeah, bro. Like their Instagram was, yeah, it was the same. It was the same crowd noise they play.
Well, I
every
saw
single
like they
time.
wanted to use like the NFL practice squad players and like stuff like that, but like the NFL wouldn't allow them to. They wouldn't allow the NFL practice squad players to play in the AFL. They were like, "Yo, you can't do it." Like you.
Yeah.
So like that kind of like limited the players they could get, and then also I heard they didn't have enough money to pay the players.
No, I mean, bro, think about they were trying to promise everybody like 80K, and dude, think about how many football like is a big team sport. You have so many players.
It's just so hard, bro. It's like it's the NFL, and like the NFL is like up here, and how are you gonna start something down here and try to have it compete? The gap is like,
yeah,
you know.
no, it's just not gonna work.
they're supposed to do.
You
the
have to have a ridiculous amount of money. And
They're supposed to
love
start
football.
the XFL again, though. Remember the XFL?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
Vince
that
McMahon.
when I heard
Yeah.
AAF was coming in.
Supposed to put like
I
$1 billion into it or something.
Yeah, they're
stupid like
supposed. That's supposed to come out in like a couple years or something like that.
Yeah, when I heard AAF was coming out, I thought it was.
Well, first of all,
like an
the
XFL.
AAF just sounds dumb as fuck.
It's so hard
that
to
was
say.
the best thing you could come up with. The AAF.
How hard is that to say?
That almost is as dumb as fuck as the when we were trying to come up with the fantasy names. Yes, the
FFFFP, the fucking fantastic fantasy
the
football podcast.
It's a static.
The P. Yeah, we did. We came up with some stupid ass names, huh?
Everyone
no,
you
yeah.
had, every other
Yeah,
one of yours is
everyone's
like gay, average bros, or anal
the
average
big
bros.
pussies episode.
No, that's not what I
Yeah,
said.
it was. We were like,
Okay,
well,
first of
don't
all,
think
I
anyone's
did
gonna-
say make up some dumb
The
ass
Ass Eaters football podcast.
You didn't
I-
want fantasy football, and you were more like, screw fantasy. We're just making ass eating bros.
balls, and balls.
Dude, okay, I had some dumb names, but none of them were those.
3
they
dudes,
were
6
pretty
balls
close to that.
podcast.
Bro, they were like, one of them was, I can't remember.
Because we just said them all, so now you're out of out of shit to say.
I can't remember. I can't even remember.
You, man.
Let's
One.
just say yours weren't any good. That's why they didn't get picked.
What do you mean? I came up with
No,
this.
you didn't.
Oh my god, are you
Dude, no, you
serious?
dude. I'll
I
fucking
thought we were
fight
just
you
talking
right
about
now,
it and
dude.
it popped up. I don't remember who hooped out of it.
Oh my god.
I think it was me. I don't think it was. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
It definitely wasn't.
Okay, how
I
do
think
you know?
it was me.
You think it was you?
I'm pretty sure it was me.
I'm pretty sure it was me.
Disrespectful,
Dude,
huh?
fuck you, pups. You're cool, and fuck you. I'm out.
Dude,
Honestly,
fuck
dude.
that emo dog.
Honestly, someone just commented and said, "Whose lame ass dog is that?"
Well,
How
tell that
can they even
person
see
to
that? Is that
go-
Justin?
I was like looking. I was like waiting. I was like, wait, someone commented.
No.
I was like, hey, we have someone live in the podcast.
Oh, dude, we have like 100 listeners. No, we don't.
We have like 100 million.
100 million. So yeah, that's what we think on the new rule changes. You know what I'm saying?
So
Just
it's
to
like-
cap it off on that.
2 hates and like a I don't really care.
Like
Basically.
neutral. Like I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. There's just a lot of hype coming out as of recent.
Yeah, this is the time of year where everyone's hyping up everyone.
We
From
got
now until like August, no one on the team sucks. That's basically how it works. Literally, yeah, no one sucks from here out.
what do you mean,
Like it's coaches, GMs.
dude? Everybody that's listening right now is gonna be like, "Damn, dude, who's just doing hella lines on the
That's what I was
podcast?"
about to say.
I can't fucking breathe. My nose is fucked.
Dude, I'm gonna remove your nose when you're sleeping one day.
God, please.
To just detach it. You should get like a Lego piece of nose.
Like a potato man nose.
Yeah, Mr. Potato Head nose. Yeah.
I said potato man.
Potato men.
Mr. Potato Head, not Potato Man.
Sounds like
I choked.
it'd be a good movie.
All right, can we talk about Darius Guys?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Right there.
So we're talking
Playboy?
about Darius Guys. I saw a video on Darius Guys the other day. It looked pretty. I mean, it was pretty impressive. He was doing some drills at the facility, and he just looked good. And I think a lot of people kind of forgot about Darius Guys because he was a rookie last year. You know, he tore his ACL in preseason. So, but before he tore his ACL and before AP got signed there, Darius Guys was supposed to be the guy there. And I know you've kind of looked at his tape, rookie tape, when he's at LSU, right? That's where you're from. He can catch the ball, right? He could be a three-down back.
No,
so
he can catch. He's
So, but he looked good though. He
he's
was
still only
cutting, he was
21
juking. He caught a pass, turned 90 degrees up field or sprinted down the field. He looked really good. So, I know AP's there, and I feel like a lot of people are probably gonna focus on AP for right now, at least maybe until like we get closer to draft season. But Darius Guice is definitely an interesting name that I'm gonna want to keep an eye on as we get closer. Just kind of see how they split that workload there. It's going to be a 50-50 committee because we do know AP's not really a pass catching back, and Darius Guice, like you said, could be a 3-down back. So and he's younger, he's come back after ACL surgery, but we'll just see how it works out. Just someone I want to keep an eye on for sure.
he's 21 years old right now, so he's still a young cat, young spry cat.
I mean, it could be like a Dalvin Cook scenario where maybe a couple games, but maybe towards the end of the year he picks it on. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know how much of a commitment there is to AP. I know his contract is 2 years, but is his contract front loaded for 1 year? The thing with contracts is they can be a 3-year contract or 2-year contract, but they can realistically be a 1-year contract, and then I can cut you after this season. So the problem I have with not problem because I like Darius Guice's talent, and in a dynasty I would love him still, but there's still Chris Thompson there. There's still a role for Chris Thompson. So it's kind of a 3-headed attack in probably one of the bottom 5 offenses.
Yeah.
And that's the only problem I have with it. Like, for all we know, is Darius Guice could be the most talented guy in the field, but you could be dealing with, at this point in their careers, but you could be dealing with AP as the goal line back, and then Chris Thompson's just taking those 3-4 catches a game. And Darius Guice is basically doing all the works from the 20s to the 20s, but he's not getting the red zone work, and he's kind of just he's in a potentially bottom 5 offense, and he's not going to have a lot of opportunity to score. So, yeah, if he can, I think he's going to probably be more of a second-half player than a first-half player. I think he's someone will probably drop if AP has a week or two. I think you're going to need an injury to either Chris Thompson or Adrian Peterson for him to become, relevant on a week to week, I think he's going to be someone that's kind of hard to trust in the beginning of the year. But if you're patient with it, if you're in a deep bench league, draft him because there is the upside. He can catch. He is a good running back. He can be a 3-down back, and maybe they want to see what they have in him for the future and see how in the second half, like, do they need another running back in the draft? Do they need someone, or is Darius Geis our 3-down back? So I think he's more of a second half player, someone you got to stay patient with. But he's someone I'll probably draft late, possibly. I might not draft, but he's someone I might be trying to trade for, week 4, week 5, or trying to pick up and see what happens. That's kind of where I'm at right now. It's early.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of running backs over there.
I mean,
Chris,
yeah.
what do you say?
I was just gonna say it's just like you said, it's just so freaking early, man. Like I'm even trying to look up Darius Geis' ADP right now, and it just is not available. So you never know what's gonna happen in this this off season. They go to training camp. Chris Thompson just gets murdered or something.
Jesus.
I mean, dude, it happened to Nipsey Hussle, dude.
That did.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. dude.
RIP. Is this the RIP?
That shit's
episode?
crazy, dude. I was watching some video of some guy supposed to be like Nips, like one of Nips' like homeboys, and he was talking about how like he was even saying on his like Instagram live, he's like, "Yo, like this isn't some gang shit. Like the government did this. Like the government knows they did this. They got these reporters out here reporting fake news. Like
Really?
we all,
That's
everyone in
it.
the streets knows that like this isn't some gang shit. Like it's all the government. The government took my boy out. Like it's pretty crazy, yeah."
What
Dude,
was
I mean-
what was more of the background story of why the government like?
Because from what I've been reading just on the Instagram and shit, it's like he was gonna come out with a documentary on like holistic health, and like this guy, he's a doctor, his name's Dr. like Sebi or Sebi. He pretty much came up with like the cure for like cancer, AIDS, herpes, like all these things. Kind
Yeah.
of just like saying like eat the right shit and put the right shit in your body, and your body will heal itself. And like that guy Sebi or Sebi, I don't know how to pronounce it, but he went to like federal court, and he like proved to the federal jury like that he could prove that he could like
That
cure all
his
these
medicine
things.
was legitimate.
Yeah, and then like, but he ended up getting like assassinated or thrown in jail or some shit like
Yeah.
that. So the Nipsey guy was gonna do a documentary on it and just be like, "Yo, like, you can like cure your body and shit like that." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I mean, technically it's a conspiracy theory
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
but like, the conspiracy is that pharmaceutical companies.
The pharmaceutical,
Took him
yeah,
out.
because
Yeah.
he came out openly on the podcast and he was like, "Yo, like, you can't be like trying to cure cancer or cure AIDS because that's like a part of the $1 trillion, $1 billion
Oh, yeah,
industry
no,
of
for sure.
pharmaceuticals and shit." The way he described it was like, "Yo, you can't like go to some other like some homie's corner on the block and like take his money, because if you do, like, you'll get
They'll pop you.
Yeah, they'll kill you for stepping on the turf." So he's saying like if you're trying to like prove that you can cure certain diseases without pharmaceuticals, then like you're stepping on their turf and you're taking money out of their pocket. So that's like, and he was just explaining how like they're rich. They're not just like some gangbanger on the corner. Like these are like
Billions.
billionaires, trillionaires. So they
Yeah,
got
dude,
money.
They got like secret weapons, like guns that look like water bottles or something.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, real quick, we have a question. Really, actually,
Really, do you have a question?
it's truly 100%.
Anthony wants an Estancia himself.
No, that's not. Yeah. How many wine bottles can you put in your ass? No, that's not the question.
Four.
4. He's like, not 4.
He's like 4 in the fucking mini fridge.
All right, what's the
from
fucking question, bro?
The question is, you guys think David Johnson still has a chance at being a top 5 running back?
CNC.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a new offense in there. I mean, we've seen what David Johnson could do, even on. I mean, the Cardinals weren't a high-scoring offense. What was it, 2 years ago?
No, and still Larry Fitzgerald was super relevant, and David Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is he wasn't used as a receiver last year, and I think he still finished as the top 15 back. I want to say off head, he might even been right in that. I think he was right around that area last year, David Johnson. If you want to look it up. But he wasn't even used in the passing game like he was in the past. If he can get back to that 70 reception range, that 60 to 80, I mean, if he gets to 60, 80 receptions alone, he's going to probably be a top 8 back. That's what he does on the ground as a running back. Now, if he gets another 250 carries and 275, if he gets 275 and 70, he's probably guaranteed to be locked into the top 5. So is it in the cards? Yeah, I think he can definitely get back there. He's a talented back. He's a dual threat. The Cardinals, maybe they draft Kyler Murray, and that changes the whole dynamic of the offense as well. You know, I haven't watched too much of his college tape, but is he kind of like an RPO kind of guy?
Yeah, I mean, he can run the ball. He's just definitely a scrambling quarterback.
Yeah.
He probably most like comparable, like Michael Vick-ish.
Who, Kyler Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I know when quarterbacks run RPOs, what that does is it actually helps the running back get some more lanes and stuff like that. It helps them kind of because the defense has to hesitate before they make a move.
5. So there's a lot of good running backs there. With a rookie quarterback, their offensive line wasn't very good last year. I know it was one of the worst in the league, and I'm not sure they did too much to boost it in the offseason yet, but with a rookie quarterback, I'm thinking maybe he doesn't get as many catches. Maybe, Murray scrambles instead of dumping it off, where a normal non-rushing quarterback would just dump it to him. Maybe Kyler's like, well, I'm just going to run it and try to make a play with my legs. So maybe that kind of affects him a little bit. I just don't like taking players, and I know we've touched on it in the past, in bad offenses. So I'd probably be on the opposite side of this one.
Someone said, "Man, dude, on the right, you swole."
Who's dude on the right?
You.
I'm on the left.
No, dude, they're talking about Tyler, bro.
Yeah.
His nose is swole, bro.
My nasal.
Like,
full of that blood
I'm catering to the question. The question was, is he going to finish in the top 5? Is he ranked in my top 5? No, but can he? Yes, he can. It's not that I'm saying that he's gonna. I think there's running backs that have a higher probability, but we've already seen him. We've seen him finish number 1. He actually finished higher point wise than Todd Gurley did. I think that one year he actually finished higher than Le'Veon Bell has. So we've seen his ceiling. We've seen him go like just for massive catch totals, massive yard totals. He's probably one of the few guys that can go for 1,000 that's still left in the league.
Yeah.
So do I think it's probably going to happen? I think there's other running backs that are probably finished in the top 5. But would it surprise me if David Johnson was the number 3 running back this year? No, it wouldn't surprise me at all. So I think it is in the cards. If he gets you 275 and 70, he's going to be in the top 5. I'll put $500 on that.
All right. I just disagree on that. I think there's too many other talented running backs out there for him to finish top 5. But that's just my opinion. What do you think?
But the question was, is there a chance? He's not saying, is it going to happen?
And I don't think there's a chance because I think there's too many talented running backs out there that have a better opportunity to finish top 5 than he does. Right. He would have to have like a phenomenal season, like up to par of what he had 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, to finish top 5. And I don't think he gets close to being that with how the other running backs are. Like, you got to think Zeke and Barkley.
He's 2 people now?
Yeah, no, Zeke and Barkley
Stats,
are
fuck.
for sure going to finish in the top 5. No Ingram, just Kamara stay in the top 5 potentially. McCaffrey, he's up there. I'm a big Gordon guy. I like him a lot. There's a lot of running backs. I think Dalvin Cook is sneaking in the top 5. Like I said, Devontae Freeman was a top 5 in the past. No Tevin Coleman there. Maybe he jumps in there. Better. These are guys on better offenses. So I'm not necessarily doubting David Johnson's talent.
Devontae Freeman, but Devontae Freeman's never even had close to the same workload that David Johnson has done. Never even done close to the same yardage.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, these are players who are on better offenses who I think could potentially be in the top 5. And
David Johnson's done it on a sub-poor offense already.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. What do you think, Mike? What's your opinion?
For that, hold on. For what's it called? For the Cardinals, I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I'm probably more on Tyler's side of things.
Look, I wouldn't have him ranked in my top 5. Let's put it that way.
But you're saying that there is.
But I'm saying, is it going to surprise me if he finishes in the top 5? No, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, here, put them in order. Someone asked: David Johnson, Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook.
See, for me, I love Dalvin Cook going forward.
Let's just do half-point PPR to make
half-point
it easy.
PPR.
See, for me, I would go Cook, Johnson, Fournette probably. I don't know what it is, but I'm all in on Dalvin Cook going forward in this year. Until they sign another running back, I'm all in on Dalvin Cook this year.
It's so crazy when you say that because all I think about is
I know, but like Anthony says, it changes every year. Changes and things. He's healthy. We saw it towards the end of the year him pick it up, and unless they sign another running back, I'm like all in.
Yeah. I'm gonna have Fournette third. David Johnson and Dalvin Cook are probably neck and neck because I kind of have my own rankings in my head.
Yeah,
I think they're literally neck and neck right now. In a full, I'd probably lean towards David Johnson. In a half or standard, I might go with Dalvin Cook just because I like the defense and offense better. So it's kind of as of right now, really early. It's format dependent for me. In a full PPR, I'd probably lean with David Johnson. I mean, just looking right now real quick, even in that shitty offense last year, he still had 7 touchdowns on the ground, still had a high workload. Dalvin Cook hasn't also stayed healthy. I don't know his college career, but he hasn't been very healthy so far up to this. So there is the injury risk with him. He hasn't been able to show a full season in the NFL. So it's tough right now. Like I said, standard, I'd probably lean towards Dalvin Cook. The half-point PPR, I'd have to look at some more stuff, but full point, I'd go David. So for me, it's format dependent, and I have Fournette third in either.
I would go Dalvin, David Johnson, Leonard Fournette.
Yeah,
that's where I would go in half-point PPR.
I'm all in on Cook this year.
But
I'm trying to get him in every single league I can.
If
I can get him as my second running back, I mean, he could be RB1 if he's going in like the middle of the second round right now. So, I mean, he could be your RB1 potentially. But I mean, if you go running back, and Dalvin Cook's your 2, man, you're gonna have a nasty 1-2 combo there for sure.
Damn. Oh, that makes me so wet. No, but for real though. No, what I was gonna say is what I was actually talking to my buddy Blake about this earlier today. Is that I think that the Cardinals are retarded if they get rid of Josh Rosen. I just think that like just with the coaching changes and all that stuff happening last year, they didn't really give him a chance. And if you're gonna like put what they draft him like 12th overall or something like that, 8th overall, something crazy. And why are you gonna draft somebody like that, invest in them, and then not like try and there's a lot of quarterbacks. What's his name? Peyton Manning. Fucking like his first
his like first year. Yeah,
he was his first 3 years. He had like the worst.
He had like
record.
more picks than touchdowns.
Yeah, no, crazy. So it's like you can't. I think you're out of your mind. And I keep seeing things like I seen freaking Josh Rosen. Like people were talking about the Patriots picking up Josh Rosen, and I swear to God, if the Patriots pick up Josh Rosen and Bill Belichick still stays there and he builds that dude over there,
don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby?
I'm saying,
put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
I'm gonna freak out if that happens. Okay, and like I seen someone made a thing with Josh Rosen in a Patriots jersey, and I'm like, it already makes me sick to my stomach.
The one thing for Rosen that I can say is this: I saw some stat the other day, and it was saying like he got sacked at like the highest pressure rate in the NFL in like the last like 10 to 15 years or something like that. So like he was getting sacked faster than it would be for him to take a 5-step drop back and throw the ball. So he was getting sacked faster
like before he even had a chance.
Then he could drop 5 steps back and throw the ball. So it's like how can you even?
It's like he has like a flag football.
Yeah,
line.
like how can you? I can't even drop back and throw the ball because I'm getting hit before that I'm even allowed to do that. So yeah, it's hard to say what he can do. You know what I'm saying? Like I know we're biased.
The
you
fact
see the
that
Dolphin
he even
logo.
made anything happen is crazy.
Yeah, but it's we're biased. We see the Dolphin logo. We're Dolphin fans, so me and Anthony are going to sit here. We're going to vouch for Tannehill to the day we die because it's like we've seen the games where like he's literally just getting sacked every fucking play, dude.
What are you not? Do you not?
I don't know, just playing.
But it's like Tannehill's not a bad quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But people think he sucks. But like he's not a bad quarterback. Is he elite? I don't know.
You think he'll end up starting over Mariota this year?
I think that there's a point in the season where he could push Mariota out of there, or maybe like you said, Mariota's elbow's fucked up and like he can't really throw the ball that good. And I think Tannehill takes over in Tennessee going forward. I think Mariota's time in Tennessee is coming to an end.
We're talking about offensive lines, and the bottom 4 offensive lines are the Vikings, Chargers, Dolphins, and Cardinals.
So yeah, see that's
what's the top.
We just talked about 3 of those 4 teams.
What's the top ranks? The top 5. Just curious. Do you not have like the full list?
I'm scrolling through. This is
got to be like
Focus.
the Cowboys.
But this is like kind of I kind of hate these things too because there is like you don't know like the offensive line assignments. Like you don't know like who's supposed to pick up who, like who missed an assignment, who's supposed to pull and pick up what tackle or.
Well, and one offensive lineman change can literally change
yeah,
the
that's why
entire
I think
line.
I take these kind of like with like.
You saw it in Dallas when what's his name?
No, because I look into him a little bit, but it's like okay, I look at him and it's like okay, if it's a top 5 ranked line, like that means this is a good line. If they're a bottom 5, look at it more as like it's a bad line, not like if it's a number 8 line, it's like a deal breaker or anything like that. But I read into it a little bit. It's the Steelers, Browns, Colts, Patriots, and Eagles.
Wait, what?
The Eagles.
Oh,
the
okay,
Eagles.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
That's their L line power rankings. I feel like Pittsburgh always has like a top 10 line like year in and year out.
Yeah, there was a little bit where we didn't, but it bounced back for sure.
Big Ben's still a piece of shit.
Yeah, dude. He should be, dude. They should put him on the line and make
Unwillingly.
him fucking put in some goddamn work. Old ass rapist bitch.
Yeah.
Just kidding. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Best man at my wedding. What are we talking about? What else are we talking about? A lot of Chris Conley hype, no?
No, eh?
No, What
No.
you think, bro? What you think? You
you
like
think,
Chris
Holmes?
Conley this year or what, fool? You gonna put him in your lineup?
Depends the price. For me,
Depends, huh?
I think it's so early that he's being hyped that I'm kind of hoping his price is to where it's like people that your average fantasy football guy isn't going to even hear this stuff because they're not even going to like listen to anything that's going on in March, April, May, June, July,
Yeah.
August. But you guys are on the podcast.
Yeah, you're listening right now.
Yeah, you listen to sons of bitches.
Yeah, you listen so good.
I think the thing is, it's like Mike Evans is still the alpha dog no matter what. So he's not taking over Mike Evans' role. Jameis has shown the potential to throw him for a lot of yards year after year. They did
Chris
lose.
Conley's on the Jags.
Oh, I was thinking of Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever, just stand that one. I'll talk about Chris Godwin. Fuck it, I do what I want. It's my fucking podcast. Let's run this back. Fuck that shit. It's good enough.
Fuck
so
it. There was
bad.
no flub. Fuck it. Send it.
But I guess I'll stand Chris Conley or Godwin because we did touch on it, but we didn't go. I kind of like thought of some stuff with it too.
Get the first name right.
Yeah, but he's being hyped up too as well. And I'm trying to think of Chris Godwin. He's not going to overtake Mike Evans. You still have OJ Howard there, who was, he's going to be a force next year potentially. Yeah, I guess. You just threw me off. You guys threw me off my train.
So yeah, we're talking about Chris Conley.
Just go to Chris Conley. Fuck
Anthony's
it.
talking about Chris Godwin. Well, we know what you're saying because there's been hype. I know you guys kind of touched on in the last podcast about him trying to get like 100 catches. He was saying potentially. Bruce
Yeah.
Arians was saying that. So, are you buying into that hype, or are you kind of sleeping on it, or you think it's just him talking him up, or
I
no
don't-
Deshaun Jackson and no Adam Humphries. So that's a lot of targets that I know you said you hate the fact of thinking like, oh, these targets are gone, they need to
Yeah.
be replaced, but like, just less competition in a sense that he's gonna have to deal with, maybe.
Well, there's the other receiver that they're supposed to line into the slot. I forget his name. I mean, not the slot, but the outside. He's supposed to be the X receiver. So how many targets is that guy going to see? We don't know yet. If
Yeah.
you see 70, that digs into Chris Godwin's upside. If he's just playing the slot, does he lose that, that touchdown upside we saw in the beginning of the year? Is he more of just a move the chains type of guy? Is he more of a Jarvis Landry type? If he's not on the out, he was on the outside more last year. So this could change the whole dynamic of how he plays as a receiver. So I think there's a lot of factors that go into it as well. Do they draft a running back that is a pass catching back? Bruce Arians he's always used pass catching backs in his offensive system. So does Bruce Arians go out and get a 3-down back or draft a guy in the third round that's like a pass catching specialist? That could take away from Chris Godwin. So I think there's a lot of stuff to still happen and that needs to be evaluated before he's hyped up to be, if he's in the 4th, 5th round with this hype, I'm not going to touch Chris Godwin.
Yeah,
there.
no.
But if he's in the 6th, 7th, 8th round, is he someone I think you could have week to week safety and some upside? Yeah, because he does make some big plays. So
Yeah.
I'd like him more in the 6, 7, 8 range as my wide receiver 3 flex play.
Kind of reminds me of, I know we touched on it a couple episodes ago, like how Moncrief a couple years ago with Luck, he seems like he was always like, 4 for 50 yards and a touchdown almost every single game.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I feel like, the kind of territories in right there. A guy who's probably going to get you, 4 to 5 catches, 50, 60 yards consistently every week, and then he's got the touchdown upside.
Yeah. The league has adapted though to where they can carry 2 receivers now. Teams are throwing for 5,500 yards. I'm exaggerating, but they're throwing for a lot more yardage this year. So, or these days. So you could see 2 top 24s in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Especially if they, don't have anyone else they draft or use, and the running back lacks receiving depth. You could see another, you could have 160 for Evans target wise and maybe 120, 130 for Godwin. So it's in the cards.
I think the second best wide receiver on the team is going to be OJ Howard, though. What do you think?
Yeah.
Who do you think? Just kind of off the top of my head, OJ Howard or Godwin? Who do you think finishes with more fantasy points?
I think
Different positions, so it's kind of tough.
yeah. I was
but
gonna say I think it's more likely that Chris Conley or Chris Godwin finishes with more points, but I think OJ Howard is more fantasy relevant for his position. If
the
that makes
value is
sense.
better for him.
Yeah, I think you could easily get like a 70, 900 or 65, 900 and like 8 from OJ Howard, and Godwin could top that. But for the points you're getting with OJ Howard in that position, it's going to be way better, more beneficial for your team than it is to have, an upside of a wide receiver too. But
Yeah.
I think they could be really close.
Yeah.
I'd probably actually draft OJ Howard ahead of Chris Godwin.
Yeah, I love OJ Howard this year. That guy's a savage. So
He fucks. He fucks.
another Chris with some hype though is Chris Conley. So Chris Conley came from the Kansas City Chiefs. You might not know Chris Conley that much because it was the Tyreek Hill show and the Travis Kelce show, Kareem Hunt show
couple touchdowns.
before he started kicking people. But yeah, he had a couple good games. But Chris Conley signs with the Jags here. So the Jags have got a couple receivers. They got D.D. Westbrook. They got DJ Chark. Who else they got? Keelan Cole. And then now Chris Conley. So
You said.
we'll see. We'll see who the receivers there. But the coach was just saying that he doesn't even think Chris Conley's in his prime. He thinks Chris Conley's best years are ahead of him. I mean, this could all just be hype, like you're saying. Like the coach is just talking him up. But I know I've heard. We listen to other football podcasts. I was listening to one of I think it was the Fantasy Pros football podcast, and one of the guys in there, he loves Chris Conley. Like he loves the talent. So I mean, obviously that guy has seen. Watch his tape to see what it looks like. So he definitely has a talent. We'll see who Foles comes in favorites because he's probably going to find a certain receiver that he builds a rapport with. We're just gonna have to see who that is in the.
See, I don't give a fuck if Nick Foles is there. I still don't want to. I don't want to fuck with a Jags receiver.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't even want to. I feel like we're going to be saying the same shit we said last year. Like where we were just like, if we get to the Jacksonville receivers and we'd be like, yeah, your guess is as good as ours because we fucking good luck guessing this week.
Now, what's his name? Moncrief just went to the Steelers. Would you be hyped on a Jags receiver not in
Not in
Jacksonville?
a Jags receiver not in Jacksonville.
Yeah, as a Moncrief went to Pittsburgh.
You're talking about would I be hyped on Moncrief in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think he's someone you got to keep an eye. He's a late round flyer guy for me. Pittsburgh year in and year out has
Decent receivers, man.
normally a top 8 passing offense. You got to figure. Big Ben's going to drop back and throw the ball a ton. This defense, I think it's just middle of the road.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you had Hines Ward, Santonio Holmes. Everybody just kind of made shit happen in that.
Yeah, and now I mean, here's the thing with Juju is we got to see how it's different when you're the true number one. Teams are going to try and take you away.
Yeah.
Like they're going to straight up game plan to take you away. I mean, I can say this if you want, but even Reggie Wayne said on NFL Network where it's like when he had Marvin Harrison in there before him, he was like, they were like, what was the biggest change when Marvin Harrison left? Because Marvin Harrison was the Hall of Famer and Reggie Wayne was there.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's different because now you're not going against the number 2 or number 3 corners every week. You're going against the number 1 corner. He's like, and on top of that, teams are trying to shut you down. Teams are double coveraging you every single play. They're rolling coverage to you. They're doing stuff to specifically take you away. So, we got to see if Juju has some early season struggles, if he has some games where he disappears. And if Big Ben's going to drop back at home, we know those games could be sometimes, and throw the ball, 40 times. Moncrief might have some, weekly flex play value, and he showed a nose for the end zone. So I think Moncrief could be kind of.
Yeah, I might take a chance on him.
Yeah.
Just something to think about.
Like a late round receiver that you kind of have plug and play type of guy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's like one of those 7th, 8th round. You could
He's probably
get him even
deeper. He's
longer.
probably in the teens. You're getting him in the teens.
You're getting him.
If he's even drafted, honestly.
Yeah, something to think about. I feel like nobody's talking about that. That's that average bros exclusive. Got that exclusive. You know what else is exclusive? Isaiah Crowell to the fucking Raiders.
Transition.
Here it is. Crowell got to the Raiders. I feel like this is more news about Marshawn Lynch because we were talking about whether or not Marshawn Lynch is going to retire and stuff like that.
Do you think he's gonna retire? What's your take on it?
I mean, dude, that dude don't give a fuck. Remember last year they were like, oh, in that preseason you had that 60-yard touchdown. He's like, yeah, man, that was a fluke. Don't draft me in fantasy football.
I feel like he definitely thinks out what he's gonna say just to get attention. I feel like he likes the media attention.
You guys have to see. Have you guys seen the Bear Grylls Marshawn Lynch episode?
The Bear Grylls now.
You know Bear Grylls, the survival guy.
No.
Bear Grylls.
Oh, I think I've
On
seen.
Discovery Channel.
Yeah,
where
I think
he-
it's yeah.
Where he's like, all right, we got it. There's no water, and so we're gonna drink the water out of this elephant dung. And he like fucking squeezes like elephant shit and drinks the water out of it. That was like on an episode, but he does shit like that. Like he's like a Survivor guy. Anyways, Marshawn Lynch did an episode with him one time.
Yeah.
And he's like, they like killed this, they killed this like wild hog, and then he's like, we have to scare down this mountain and go get this hog, and then Marshawn Lynch is like, man, if you tell me some more silly ass shit, he's like, you about to see these hands, like he's like talking shit to Bear Grylls, and he's like trying to just be like, no, this is how we're gonna have to survive, like telling all that shit. Marshawn Lynch just gets hella fucking hood on him.
He's
dude.
like, there's cameras, bro. We good.
Yeah, dog. Like it's hilarious though. Someone made a bunch of clips from it, but it was pretty funny. But yeah, point is
Don't go to the wild with Marshawn Lynch. Or you catch them hands.
Yeah, they catch the
I think that's
hand.
the point.
no, but I'm hyped on Isaiah Crowell more than I think Marshawn Lynch will.
Is Doug Martin still there? Or no, he was just on a 1-year deal, right?
Yeah, I believe
pretty sure.
I believe he's gone.
We'll just see what happens to the Raiders if they draft someone. If they draft the running back as well, then it'll look kind of murky over there. Because then,
Yeah, because wasn't that what Marshawn was saying? Is that if they start making moves for other running backs, he's like, I'm not going to stick around to sit around.
I mean, he is on the tail end of like he's a dinosaur age in running back year, so he's like 30 something.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, how old is he?
We'll see. Crowell's not a bad running back. I think he doesn't get enough credit for actually being an actual NFL running back. Maybe his fantasy numbers haven't lived up to his hype, but
I think for like an
we've
NFL,
seen him have some good games and
for
stuff
like an
that.
NFL roster. I think he's a good running back to have on a team. Like you
Yeah.
said, is he maybe the best fantasy player? No, it's like, but relative like the NFL team, yeah, I think he's a good NFL running back.
You got to think they're probably not going to be able to stack the box on the Raiders. So, I don't think it's bad. If Marshawn Lynch isn't there, then maybe he could become like a sneaky late round, running back for you.
Oh yeah, do they still have Jalen Richard?
Yeah,
Yeah, they still have Jalen Richard.
Yeah, that's something to think about too.
they still have that
They
dude.
got a lot of people over there, huh? Dude, it's just science, bro. Running back
They're
science.
getting
you know
a
what
whole
I'm
bunch of people.
saying? Yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Now, actually, running back news I think is more interesting. Is our next guy, Jordan?
It's Jordania.
Oh, Jordania Howard.
Is that Estancia's?
He went to the
Yeah, it's
Eagles.
his her brother-in-law.
Where did we think that he was? We were talking about him going somewhere. I don't
did
think we
just-
called this. I don't think anybody
we
called
might-
this.
Did we bring up the Eagles?
Nah, I don't think so.
I can't remember if we did or didn't. Honestly,
I don't know. I don't know. I think this is dope for Tariq Cohen. Don't you think?
maybe.
You think maybe?
Maybe.
Do you
I
think
feel like
that-
they might draft somebody. Honestly,
Yeah,
that's like my early gut feeling on is they draft like another second or third round running back.
Dude, Tariq
The
Cohen
defense is
killed
pretty
it so-
stout. They're pretty receiver wise. They have
Yeah, their defense is pretty ridiculous.
yeah. Their defense is pretty nasty. They maybe take an offensive lineman or
Like a receiver.
yeah.
That's who
I
I
mean, they
think-
just paid Trey Burton. They have Anthony Miller, Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wasn't Taylor Gabriel a running back before?
I don't not maybe in college, but I don't think at the pro level he's been.
Um,
He's gotten some end arounds. I don't know.
Okay.
It's confusing. Like he's had rushing plays.
maybe that's what I'm confusing.
Yeah,
But
possibly.
what's it called? With Tariq Cohen. What was I gonna say? What the fuck?
I don't know what you're gonna say.
I can't remember.
Actually, let's touch on the receiver core. I know it's kind of early, but what's kind of your and then we can jump back into Jordan Howard right after this. But like, what's kind of your like early like feel on that Chicago receiver core, like super early? Because last year it was kind of a mess. I mean, is there anyone? I think is it kind of like a Jacksonville situation? You guys are avoiding it.
Yeah, I'm avoiding.
So who's there?
it.
Allen Robinson,
So, yeah,
Anthony Miller.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of pull it up right
I
now.
think they
I feel
got
like
rid of
DK
Gabriel.
I
They
feel
got
like-
rid of.
I feel like DK Metcalf is
Metcalf
going there.
to Chicago.
I mean, he could. I mean, you never know with these drafts.
Well, like
I've seen a lot
just
of
to
things
what?
say him going to the Packers at like 12 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, which I think would probably be his best
I think that's
fit.
his best
It's
scenario,
like his
yeah.
best scenario for him.
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be crazy. But okay, say.
Will
alright.
we overhype that, do you think, or no? With him with the Packers?
Yeah, I mean it's the same
Sure
thing.
would.
Do you remember
Because he's not
Jimmy
a very
Graham
good
was?
route runner, and that's the thing. I know Aaron Rodgers is big on timing. Like he's big on he'll call you out if you're not on time.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Graham, everybody was like up his ass last year when he went
He's
to the
6'8".
Packers.
He can catch the ball in the red zone.
Where
Didn't
was
happen.
he? Where was his fantasy relevance?
Yeah.
Fucking George Kittle took that fantasy relevance over tight end spot. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah, he said, "Hold my
Fucking
beer, Jimmy
science.
Graham."
Yeah, he said, Jimmy Graham, you fucking white black guy.
I said Jimmy Graham.
Dude, Jimmy Graham looks like a white black guy.
He looks like a ginger black
He
guy.
is.
Yeah, he's a
He looks
redhead
like an Andy
black guy.
Dalton that's got too much sun.
He's like Andy Dalton and DK.
To be
baby.
interceptions. Did they get rid of Taylor Gabriel?
I think they did. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
I'll try and look it up. I don't know. What's your temperature on like Anthony Miller and Allen Robinson though? Early.
I mean, I think I liked Anthony Miller last year's rookie, so I think maybe he takes a step forward. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why they got rid of Anthony Miller. Who else did they have? They got
Josh
rid of
Bellamy, Kevin White.
They got rid of Kevin White. He went to the Cardinals. I think Kevin White could sneak. If he can stay healthy, that guy is pretty. I mean, he went in the first round for Cardinals wise. Could be the sneaky play.
I'm done with him after
Right.
7 years now. I feel like.
I saw him at Marquee one time though, and he was fucking massive. And I was thinking, like,
Dude, I
man,
love
God,
this. You just see somebody at Marquee. He goes, "Oh damn, dude, this
Dude,
guy's
because
the
like
shit."
you don't like you see them on TV and you're like, yeah, okay, but they're all big guys, so you can't really see the difference. But then it's like when you get one of these like athletes like in a normal crowd of average people,
Yeah, they
Of
are
average
they
massive.
bros.
stand out, and
A
it's
sea of
like,
average bros.
man, like that guy's fucking humongous.
Yeah, you about sucked Evan Ingram's dick when he came in. I remember that.
Dude, I fucking cup the ball, stroke the shaft, and swallow the grave.
I think it hit you in the
yeah.
forehead and you got concussed.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
what I heard.
Yeah, he fucking took the hammer and gave you a nice little thud right on the top of your forehead. Clunk. Clunk. Passed out in your fucking uniform, idiot.
I don't recall.
Yeah,
I don't
he
believe
drugged you. Oh, idiot. What are we talking about?
We were talking about Kevin White being big.
Yeah, Kevin White's he a big boy.
Big boy, big boy,
Big boy.
I guess we could jump back into Jordan Howard, kind of transition back to that. I don't know. For me, it's. I think best case scenario, it's more of a lateral move, with some potential high touchdown upside. I just think they still have backs there. They still have Corey Clement. They still have Josh Adams. The thing is, the coach has never, in I think it's been 3 years now, he just hasn't shown the tendencies to use a back 70% of the snaps or 65% of the snaps.
Doug
It's always
Peterson?
Yeah, it's Doug Peterson. It's always been like a timeshare. It's just never been one back. So, and Jordan Howard is not the best pass catcher if he even is qualified as a pass catcher.
Oh, here, I got you.
Yeah, so it's just for me, it's a lateral move. You know,
If anything.
if anything,
Yeah. That's what I mean is like for me, I just look at Tariq Cohen with Jordan Howard, you know?
Yeah, I feel you on that.
It's
And if they don't draft anyone, definitely a big boost to Tariq Cohen.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for that draft to see before I make a kind of verdict on him.
What if they just get like a big ass fullback? Actually, Tariq Cohen's
Name
a pass
Mike?
catching. Yeah, dude. Fucking dude, I'll go on. Dude.
You're the biggest guy on the podcast.
You're not wrong.
You're the guy on the
dude.
right.
Hell yeah, dude.
What's your feel on Jordan Howard?
Yeah, I don't like it. He's dead to me after last year, and this is just a murky situation.
What if
Like
you see
said-
him at Marquee though, and he's a really big guy? Would you take him?
I'm sure he's a pretty big guy.
He
Probably
comes in
not,
like,
though.
you're like, damn, dude. Darren Sproles comes in. He's like, bro.
Bro, Darren Sproles is a hell of a little, bro. But no,
he's
like
quick.
you said, they have Sproles. I think they still have Smallwood technically, Clement, Josh Adams. Just a lot of running backs there, and like you hit the nail on the head. Like Peterson, he hasn't really committed to one running back. He's always spread it out or ride the hot hand. And I mean, I am big on if you trade for someone, you want to use that player, but that's just a murky situation. I kind of want to see how it pans out. If they get rid of some of these players, these other running backs, then maybe okay. And then in the preseason we see him getting a ton of work, then okay. But I think I agree with Mike here. I think it's more of a Tariq Cohen kind of thing. Like they like what Cohen offers, and he kind of fits the Matt Nagy system better than what Jordan Howard does. So yeah.
Yeah, just looking at like really quick right now. So 2018, 62% was the highest snap percentage that one running back had in a single game. Going back to 2017, it looks like 69% Darren Sproles had in week 2. Outside of that, another running back didn't top 50% in a game.
Just too inconsistent.
J.J., J.J. is like a similar back to what Jordan Howard is.
Yeah.
You look at his snap percentage, 25,
Can't
20%,
catch.
28, 41, 47. It's, it was like 40 to 50% basically.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're going to see with Jordan
And we
Howard.
saw them trade for Ajayi, and he was only getting like 12 to
And he was a third-round
15
pick.
touches at the most.
Yeah, which
You
is
know?
higher than what Jordan Howard got. They got the 5th round, right?
Yeah.
They got the 5th round.
Yeah.
J.J. was the 3rd. So, yeah, I'm on your page. I think at best it's a lateral move. I think it's more of a down tick for him.
But this could be good news for Mike Davis because the Bears, they signed Mike Davis. He had a couple good games with the Seahawks last year. Do you think Mike Davis got some value now? Like, let's just say the Bears don't draft anyone and like they just go to the season with Mike Davis and Tariq Cohen. Do you think Mike Davis is kind of just like a similar Jordan Howard, like lateral move, like you just said? Or do you think he offers a little bit more upside?
Espérate mío. I'm trying to look at what Mike Davis did.
Mike
That's what I was
Because
looking at.
he was catching the ball.
That's what I was looking up right now. Is so with the Seahawks, he had 34 receptions actually last year.
yeah, unlimited, limited.
Yeah, and limited. I
time.
mean, Russell Wilson didn't even throw the ball a lot, realistically.
That's yeah.
If you think about how much Russell Wilson dropped back and threw the ball, it was not the normal Russell Wilson years. So 34 receptions in limited action. You had Chris Carson out there a lot. You had, Rashad Penny
Penny out there.
towards there. I think this actually, now that early things, I think Mike Davis might be sneaky.
Yeah,
Because 100% Tariq Cohen's going ahead of Mike Davis.
yeah, 100%.
But as we know, Tariq Cohen's like 5'6", 100. He's like my size in the NFL.
He's not 6'5", 500
Yeah,
pounds.
he's not 6'5", 500 pounds, bro. I mean, I'm a little shifty, but I wouldn't last in the NFL to getting hit 25 times a game.
Those guys are big, bro.
They're big. They can see me at Marquee, bro. We'll see who slays ass.
Yeah, but I
Let's
feel
do
like
it.
these like shorter guys, all they do is just kind of stay really low to the ground, so they don't really get tackled.
Yeah, that they just score touchdowns every play because they don't get tackled.
No, but I'm saying like
I know what
they
you
get,
mean. I'm just being a smart ass.
Okay.
But the coaching staff though, for example, isn't going to want to run Tariq Cohen 20 times a game.
Yeah,
With Mike Davis, let's just say it's a 50-50 split. We saw Jordan Howard in the first 2-3 weeks. He was getting like 4 receptions, 5 receptions. He just wasn't doing much. They stopped giving him the receptions. They tried it. The coaching staff tried it. They're like, we're going to try this. He just wasn't doing much. He was catching the ball and going 2 yards. So with Mike Davis, actually, if he can kind of have that what Jordan Howard had in that first 3 games, I want to say, where he was getting those receptions, I mean, maybe he ends up potentially even outscoring Tariq Cohen. I mean, it's not outside of the realm of possibility. They might want to use Tariq Cohen as more of a gadget, more of a let's get him in space, let's run him on certain packages. And, Mike Davis is the bigger back. He's, he's 5'9". I'm trying to look at the weight, 217. I know Tariq Cohen isn't even close to that. So he could even be the goal line back in this offense. So I think Mike Davis might have some sneaky value.
some sneaky value for sure.
Listen, man, Mike Davis, he's our guy. If he can't do it, nobody can.
Yay.
Bro.
Are we going to go to the next thing? Just
Yeah,
gonna end the
Yeah.
episode.
Sorry. Dude, there's a lot of running back action here. Actually, the next 2 things. C.J. Anderson goes to the Lions. C.J. Anderson. Didn't they sign? Wait, how did they do that? Didn't they just sign him to something?
They called his agent and they were like, "Hey, we want him to come work out for us." And then C.J. Anderson went to Detroit and he worked out for them. And then they were like, "Hey, we like that. Let's sign him."
Yo, the
And
way
then
he
C.J. Anderson
curled
was like, "Well, I want this money." And then the Lions were like, "Well, we'll pay you this money." And then his agent was like, "No, I want this money." And then the Lions probably were like, "No, we'll pay you this money." And then his agent was like, "Okay, that's good. Now sign here."
Okay, didn't they sign him to a fucking? They re-signed him.
No, C.J. Anderson goes to the
Rams,
Lions.
I'm saying.
No, the Rams did not re-sign him.
I thought they did.
And I
See-
think there was something where they tried to pick. I think Mike's talking about is they tried to match an offer or something. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, just because I remember being like, oh yeah, Todd Gurley's value, C.J. Anderson is still there because they just re-signed him. That's what I had thought happened.
I don't know. There was a player who was
I'm not a fucking doctor, dude.
it was one of those
Alright?
unrestricted situations. I don't know if that's what you're getting at or not, but all right. So CJ Anderson,
Does that kill your Kerryon Johnson value?
maybe not.
Because you still got what, Theo Riddick there, right?
That's what I'm trying to find out is if Theo Riddick is still there.
I'm pretty sure he is. Kerryon, you got Theo Riddick.
Well, he might be there as of right now, but could they cut him?
The season starts, yeah. I think if Theo Riddick cuts Kerryon, or Jesus Christ, if the Lions cut Theo Riddick, I actually still like Kerryon Johnson. I still think he'll get majority of it, but because they got rid of LeGarrette Blount.
I kind of like it. Here's why I kind of like it.
Tell me.
I think the casual fan is going to be like, CJ Anderson, he was a fucking monster in St. Louis.
Right.
Or what?
In Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Damn, that was a throwback, dude.
The fucking St. Louis Rams. Maybe if they were in St. Louis, they would have fucking won the Super Bowl. But anyways, I think the casual fan who doesn't pay much attention is going to happen with CJ Anderson. So I kind of like this because, you know, we saw that LeGarrette Blount was still there last year and he was still getting carries and still getting run. But I think Kerryon Johnson is one of those guys where he doesn't need to have 35 touches in a game. I think if he can get 20 touches in a game, he's going to be a solid RB2 week in and week out.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing a stat. It was like when he got 15 or more touches, he was putting up double-digit fantasy points.
Yeah.
So it's like if he's only getting 15 touches, I love it. I think this is kind of just – I think C.J. Anderson just replaces LeGarrette Blount's role. I mean, I saw a report that the Lions, they already stated they don't want to run Kerryon Johnson to the ground. They don't want him to be a full three-down back. So, I mean, we can maybe be looking at like a 65-35 kind of split here, maybe a 70-30 kind of split here. I just think C.J. Anderson just kind of takes over that LeGarrette Blount. Maybe some goal line carries, spells him. But then you said you got Theo Riddick still. He's obviously going to get some run too. They paid that guy an extension and signed him some money. So I don't think they get rid of him. But like I said, it could help Kerryon Johnson's value. Maybe now he starts to slip a little bit, whereas before he was rising in the draft.
Because I know he was really early ADP. He was like around the late 4th, 5th round. This might push him into like the 6th round, 7th round, where I think you get him at that price. I think he's a value.
For sure.
So that's pretty interesting. So because what my immediate thought was, oh, this fool is gonna have, he's gonna look at his values lowered. But now putting that stuff out there makes me think the opposite. I almost like him more now.
Yeah,
just with his fantasy, his ADP probably dropping, stuff like that.
And I know the coaching scheme and the coordinator they brought in is like a run heavy type of coordinator. So this is going to kind of flip flop what the offense has always been potentially. This might be more of a run first, pass second. But for years in Detroit, we've seen pass first, run second. So I think it could flip flop too, potentially just based off of the coaching, the coach's coordinator's tendencies, and what the head coach wants to do as well. So this might even be more of a run-heavy team than we have seen in the past. So I almost want to say Kerryon Johnson's probably locked in for a solid RB2 week in and week out. And if you can get him in the 6th, 7th, if this pushes his value down, I actually like the C.J. Anderson signing.
Yeah. The one thing I can say about the C.J. Anderson signing is he's got to be doing something wrong. Yeah, the guy's got talent. He was coming off a 1,000-yard rushing season when he was with the Broncos. He had a good tail end of the season with the Rams. Like you said, maybe it's the system, but there's got to be a reason why. He signed with the Panthers. They cut him. He got picked up by the Raiders. They cut him. He got picked up by the Rams.
Maybe he smells really bad or something.
But then it's like they didn't. He wasn't good enough for them to re-sign him. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he keeps fucking everybody's mom.
No, but even I was reading a report saying there wasn't much of a market for him in the NFL. So there's got to be a reason why
what do you mean?
He can't stay on a team.
So
let's just say like Anthony was saying, this pushes Kerryon Johnson's value down. But let's just say for some reason maybe they cut C.J. Anderson. Maybe it's only a 1-year contract, so maybe they cut him and they're just like, yo, Kerryon can get this done by himself. He's just better. We're gonna ride Kerryon. Maybe they cut C.J. Anderson and then, like you said, now you just got a locked and loaded RB2 in the 7th round, 6th round.
Yeah.
So there's just a reason why he keeps getting cut from teams. What it is, we don't know, but
he smells.
I think he's fucking everybody's girls, dude.
Dude, he's a savage.
He's Mr. Steal Your Chick, dude. Mr.
He just starts playing Trey songs everywhere he walks.
I think he just is like, when he walks in the room, he'd be like, everybody's like, cuff your chick, cuff your chick. Everybody's just
CJ's here.
CJ's here, dude. He's gonna fuck your girl, dude. And then he walks in and he's like, where's everybody's girls at? I'm gonna put my pee-pee in them, put pee-pee in them. And then the girls are like, oh my god, CJ, you're fucking here. And then CJ's like, take this fucking dick, dude. And then and then the coach comes in. What's going on? And then
He's just like, I'll
then he
fuck you
just
if you don't
sees
shut
CJ
up.
And he just sees CJ Anderson fucking Cam Newton's wife. And then he's like,
Wait, how
this
did
is
Cam
on
Newton
a-
get this? Oh, he was in the Panthers.
Yeah. Okay. and then Cam Newton's. I don't even think Cam Newton's married, but he took his girl and just fucking slid that P right in that V, dude. And then all of a sudden, bro, coach walks in, sees this all happening. You're off the team, and then that's what happens.
Dude, you nailed it, bro.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
We got an inside report.
Breaking news.
Breaking news,
It's called Roto World.
bro. It's Roto World.
No, I'm gonna say
Stop
Roto
saying
World every
Roto
time.
World.
As soon as I said that, I was like, Mike's gonna say something.
You said it once, and I was like, "That's okay."
I looked
Said
at
it
you as soon as I
twice,
said it.
and you said it 3 times. Not acceptable.
Fourth time.
Well, we accept these dumbass stories you come up with.
Yeah, we were just.
What are you
listening to
talking about, dude? I'm a fucking journalist, dude. I
That's
report
not
the
fucking
news.
Twitter verified.
He's like the Adam Schefter of weird news.
No, I'm like the.
Oh yeah,
Max
this guy
Kellerman.
was eating this girl's ass and fucking then he got cut by the coach.
No, nobody in the NFL eats ass. They're too rich.
I only
for
know
that.
2 people, and I don't think they eat ass.
One of them's your brother-in-law. So I hope he does it.
You should clip that and post it.
Okay, but listen, you're too. If you're in the
And then tag my
NFL,
dad.
if you if you're in the, if you're in the NFL, you're too rich to eat ass. Do you understand?
You're never too rich to eat ass.
Look, dude, I'm a thousandaire. all
Bro, I
right?
saw Justin Houston the other day. Big as fuck, by the way. He's for sure eats ass.
No.
He was all over Nicole Kelly, just trying to bury that face.
Bro, you just dropped her name.
Bro, you just fucking.
Bro,
Bro, you putting her fucking ass eating business out there, dude?
I'm not saying he did, but I'm saying he was trying.
Do you think that? I think that they don't need to. I think it's maybe NFL players, but NBA players for
Can
sure.
I say
don't
Justin
eat ass.
Houston? Massive.
Was he a marquee?
I think
Dude,
you have
he's that
man
marquee,
crushes
dude.
on all these NFL players.
Dude, he looked like a fucking gorilla dog. No, like
I
that's
think-
kind of
Only
sorry.
massive NFL players allowed to go to marquee.
I think Tyler goes up to him and he's like, "Hey, dude, you trying to?" Like he's like a cuckold. He's like, "Dude, you trying to sleep with
Like-
my girl, dude? I'm trying to watch, dude."
Last year, Von Miller went there. Philip Lindsay was trying to get in. They're like, "Nah, sir, you're not massive. You can't be in here."
yeah. This got a high requirement. No, dude, Justin Houston was humongous though. I was just thinking, man, there's no way. How did they block him?
Because they're all just as massive.
Dude, fuck.
That's so hot, dude. Dude, whenever I see guys like that, all I think of is like JJ Nelson. JJ Nelson is
He's
my
like
height.
160 pounds.
He weighs 165 pounds. He's in the fucking NFL.
He's like that.
That's-
the camera pull.
Yeah, he's literally he's like that. He's like
Who was
anything skinny
the
in
running
this
back? Not the running back. The wide receiver on the Browns a couple years ago. He's just like quick. Travis Benjamin's really small, right? That's
Yeah.
Travis Benjamin. That's who it is, right?
Oh, sure. Wait, the receiver on the Browns?
I think JJ,
He was on the Browns,
I
but then he
think
went to
JJ
the, he's
Nelson-
on the Chargers now.
Oh, yeah,
Travis
Travis
Benjamin.
Benjamin,
Yeah, he's like 5'10", like 160 or something like
Deshaun Jackson's a pretty skinny person.
that. Yeah,
I saw that fool.
he's not massive.
No, he's not. He's definitely not massive.
Tyler's like, shucks.
Damn it. He hasn't been to marquee.
They just get big when they walk.
They get
in.
better. Like, have you been to marquee? All right, sign here. Your contract's better.
They get a mushroom. Boop, boop, boop.
I don't think I've ever heard him say that, like 5 years of marquee. Like, dude, I saw so and so. Dude's fucking tiny.
Damn, dude, you can't even see him. You know what I'm saying, dude? I don't know what I'm saying. But here's the thing: I have to pee. Can you guys take over while I go to the bathroom?
Whatever.
We're
Anyways,
almost done.
next news: Duke Johnson. He's officially requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns signed Kareem Hunt. He's gonna miss 8 games, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, once he comes back, he's pretty much just gonna fill that Duke Johnson role.
Maybe
in my
nine. Maybe
opinion.
9 fantasy games. Sorry
Yeah,
to cut you off.
yeah.
But we don't know the bye week. So.
Yeah. But once he comes back, I feel like he kind of just takes over that Duke Johnson role, but like in a better fashion. He's just like, a better Duke Johnson, So
Yeah.
Duke Johnson has requested a trade. A couple teams, I can't remember what they were exactly, but saying there's a couple teams that are already like interested in talking about him. So he could be a name that you could be seeing moved in draft day potentially. A lot of draft day trades probably going to go down.
I'd like to see him go to the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, a good pass catching back.
Yeah, and I mean he's shown a knack to run the ball relatively efficient too as well. No, he hasn't had the highest carry count, but I'm just looking at his numbers right now. 2016 4.9, 2017 4.2, 2018 5.0. So he's been in the 4 point something. So he's at least shown efficient running back totals. On the receiving end, 61 receptions, 53, 74, 47. So, with the Bruce Arians style offense, that was David Johnson's huge year, massive year. I don't think he's David Johnson, but could we get a guy who's maybe 175 and 80 and like a Christian McCaffrey light possibly?
Yeah.
I think that's a possibility if he goes to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they definitely need a pass catcher. I mean, all they have is Peyton Barber. They have Ronald Jones over there, but
I don't even want to say 80 because I feel like that's too high. But can we get like 175 and like 50 to 60? I think that's a good flex RB. That's kind of almost like what a James White is.
Yeah.
Mike, you got anything to say?
So one of the teams, it's kind of crazy. One of the teams is the Eagles. They're saying that could be interested, which would just make that situation even more
Oh my God,
murky.
are you serious?
They're saying that the Packers could potentially be it. The Texans, because I've read some reports that the Texans could part ways with Lamar Miller. So,
Crazy.
talking about the Cowboys potentially as a landing spot for him. Mike just comes back.
Just drop that in there. Crazy. But for real though. Yeah, I don't know. What did you guys talk about? Did you talk about Duke Johnson leaving and
That's what we're talking about.
what's his name?
About right now.
what's his name? Who's still on there?
Kareem.
Big Chubby,
Big Chubby.
Full chub.
full hard,
Full Chub.
Full chub.
Full Tingle.
extends Chub.
Extensi.
Nick extends. Listen, man, that's what I think about. Think about that.
Extends.
No, I think about Nick Chubb.
Estancia, Extensi. One of the two. One of the three. I had to pull my mic back because I was uncomfortable. Just chilling.
I think that's what I look at. I don't really look at Duke Johnson. I don't get that excited about Duke Johnson.
Dude, you didn't grab me a third beer?
Yep, they're right there. I'll grab it for you in just a moment.
You want
But
to toss to
listen
me?
here. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about on Duke?
No, we'll just see where he goes. Just news that he wants to be traded. So,
I mean,
if they do trade him, then that Chubb's value is only going to go up because we saw Chubb get done through the air too.
Yeah, I didn't get much. He needs to be traded. If he doesn't get traded, it's kind of.
I'd want to be traded if I was him. Well, actually, no, I would want to stay on the team because they're going to be pretty fucking good this year.
Yeah.
And you get paid not to get hurt.
imagine you play on the Browns when they're shitty as fuck, and then as soon as they get better, you leave the team.
So if there are the Avengers, what superhero would Duke Johnson be?
Duke Johnson would be
Ant-Man.
Duke Johnson's
We talked about this
Duke
earlier.
Johnson's the guy with the bow and arrow that
Hawkeye.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I was gonna
Okay,
say.
That's
what I was
a good
gonna
one,
say.
actually.
yeah, that's who Duke Johnson.
But I think he
is.
might even be like a lesser. Like he's like Nick Fury. He's just in the
No,
background.
no, you know-
the eye patch, just delegating shit.
I don't know too much about Marvel to reference to it.
Dude, Ant-Man would fuck people up. I was like, because I saw this meme where it's like, it's talking about like how Ant-Man can just go inside of Thanos and expand and explode him, and I was like, dude, Ant-Man could legit do that to everybody and just fuck
Well,
some
that'd be
people up.
pretty crazy.
Because think about it, he can go microscopic, buzz inside your ear, gets in there, and then expands and your fucking explodes your cabeza.
What if he does it in
dead.
like a girl's vagina, dude?
Wait, what? Because I have headphones on.
What if he just goes in that?
Are you trying to be Ant Whisperer?
No, but for real though, what if he just was inside of a girl, Ant-Man style, but then he just
Like he made it seem like he had a little pee-pee.
no, like he just puts his pee-pee in there and then he just
Expands it.
pee-pee's a funny word. But listen, he puts his
Like,
dick
always-
in there.
We never say pee-pee. Like, have we ever said pee-pee hanging out talking at the bar or in the kitchen? No, not once. We're on the podcast. We've said pee-pee 10 times this episode.
But listen, dude, he puts his dick in there, but as Ant-Man style. And she has no idea. And then he just fucking expands and she just is like, ah.
And then she explodes.
No. Not his whole body, just his pee-pee. His dick.
Wait, so he's still an ant? He's just a giant penis.
Yeah, but then his dick, but he gets it real hard, you know. And then his,
What's up, with Mike's weird fucking pee things today?
you know what I'm trying to
Did
say?
he take an extends or it's just his?
Yeah, it takes and extends. Also,
Instance?
what if? Okay, no, he took a rhino. Let's say that. Takes a
Bro,
rhino.
step-
That
Stepping it
sounds,
up,
that sounds
dude.
like that sounds more like Avenger. Like he took a rhino.
Yeah. He took a
The,
rhino
the
7.
black rhino or the
Black Rhino 7.
black rhino 7, dude? Those are hot on the market. How can you
Yeah.
can you find those still?
Bro, I got
Yeah.
you. I got a plug.
Yeah,
Dude,
the
My,
smoke
my
shop.
plug don't talk.
Smoke shop on Windmill. They
Throw
got
out my plug, bro.
He's like, I got you off the pod. No, listen. Okay, anyways, whatever. That's stupid. But yeah, if he just expanded and his penis is inside of her, and then he expands and she's not expecting it, and all of a sudden she just is like, like an orgasm. Dude,
Like the
imagine,
Pillsbury Doughboy.
dude, imagine a penis expanding inside of you, out of nowhere.
Like a wine bottle.
Yeah, like a
Wait,
yeah,
Amen instanciate her?
yeah, basically.
Like you just told us to imagine a penis like expanding inside
Dude.
of us.
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't let Mike talk anymore on the
No, I don't think
podcast.
so either.
Dude, I would be glad
Just
to.
stick to the tech stuff, dude. Go, hack into the shit, dude. Do it.
No,
Show
because-
us. How do you do it? Show us. Hack into it.
Beep boop beep boop bop bop.
Knob,
I'm
knob, knob.
in the Pentagon.
Yeah, okay, there you go. You just do that stuff and you just
To be honest, dude, it's so hard to fucking multitask. Anyways, like I would really appreciate if I didn't have to talk.
You're looking at a screen, bro.
No, but I have to, dude. I'm doing things. Okay.
You don't talk.
well, you're
anyways.
fucking special, bro.
We don't even leave you to statistics.
You're
you
special,
just talk
bro.
about how you
You're
how you
smart.
feel.
Yeah, but
Inside.
it's unnecessary, dude. Because
You're
half the time I dumb down the pod.
You what?
I dumb it down,
Yeah,
dude.
but we need that.
You're like,
we need
my
you.
opinions make your opinions sound so much
Yes,
better. Huh?
exactly.
Yeah, that's very good. Speaking of opinions that we don't agree with, can we talk about somebody?
What really chaps your ass? Not
Yeah,
this
what
pass
Somebody on
interference rule.
Instagram. Not this pass
Is he
interference
pee-pee?
rule, but this is somebody that fucking drives us up the wall. Me and Tyler mostly. I don't know about Anthony.
Yeah, sometimes.
So there's a lot of people that, are in the fantasy football world, right? There's a lot of us.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a lot of us. Like 100.
We're small time. We'll tell you that. I'll admit that. We're average bros.
Dude, we're just average.
Yeah, you know what?
Up and coming.
Up and coming. You could call
We're
us
like
that.
the 0-16 Browns, but we're about to turn to the fucking
See, we're up
Avengers.
and coming, but once we make it, we're still gonna be average.
Here's the thing, dude. We're making trades. We're making deals.
Yeah.
We're firing coaches. Me. Maybe we'll fire me. Maybe that will help.
You're the
I
head
don't know.
coach?
Maybe we'll rebrand.
He looks like a head coach.
You do have
over
a
there.
coaching mustache.
I do.
You look like a head coach over there.
And here's the thing, is that's important for the next thing I'm about to say. Now listen, a lot of stuff is changing with the average bros. Okay? But also, I lost my train of
Like,
thought.
what?
I don't know where I'm going with this.
I was like, where you going with this?
Okay. But look, we're up and coming, and guess what? There's some people, they're verified. They claim they know everything. But guess what? You don't know everything if you fucking delete shit from the previous years, okay? We've seen it happen. And there's somebody out there. You want to tell the people who we're talking about?
You
here.
tell me, bro. This is really chapping your ass.
Yeah, I like it. Keep
Okay,
going.
this guy, he's a Canadian guy. He drives me
Oi.
nuts because he says about. Fucking say words right. You know what I'm saying? First of all, say words right.
Yeah, don't come into our game and mispronounce words.
Yeah, bro. Hey, National Football League. Is there any teams in Canada? No. Leave that to the CFL. Maybe this guy should be a part of the CFL. Maybe he should fucking talk about that, huh? Do a fancy podcast show on the CFL. We're talking about the fantasy football counselor. I fucking hate this guy. I'm just going to put it at that. I'll put my face out there saying I do not like this guy. He drives me fucking nuts. He's super cocky about putting facts out there, and half the time he's just saying bullshit. He's not even. He's like the Stephen A. Smith of Instagram fantasy podcasters. Okay, this motherfucker says shit that doesn't. Stephen A. Smith, incorrect. He didn't even know who was playing last year in one of the games.
Justin Houston.
He was talking about
Or was it
tight ends that were out.
Hunter Henry
He's
and
talking about-
Derek Johnson.
Derek Johnson.
Okay,
so I was thinking of
And
mix
guess
them up.
what? This pro fantasy football counselor, I can't know what his thing is. All he does is talk about Todd Gurley being a piece of shit and sucking. Remember last year? He said this.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley's nothing for you. And he's doubling down saying, oh, well, he didn't finish at the end. Dude, if you had Todd Gurley, you made it to the playoffs. You made it to the you probably
You were smacking
cash.
people. I had him. I was like,
You
the rest of my
probably
team didn't do
cash.
too well, but
You probably made money
Yeah,
in your that's what's important, right?
for sure. Yeah,
Sure,
You're
you
trying
want
to-
number one, right? You
but
want
the
number
money's
one.
nice.
But dude, if you have Todd Gurley putting in, how many touchdowns did Todd Gurley have this past year?
A lot.
Too many.
double digits. I think
Like
15.
18. I was gonna say
18,
18
yeah,
total,
might have.
probably.
Insane. So yes, this guy drives me nuts. I
If
don't
he
know
had
if you
played
want
every
to
game, he
capitalize
would have
on
been the
that.
number one for sure.
He does like okay, like we're always talking about here. We're average bros, you know, just average guys, just like you and your buddies hanging out, blah blah. And at the end of the day, it's just an opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. You're trying to make the best educated guess when you know with the numbers and what it is. You know, nobody could have dictated that Philip Lindsay last year was going to outscore Royce Freeman. You know,
except for Philip Lindsay.
Going forward, everyone was like Royce Freeman, Royce Freeman. Even preseason was showing Royce Freeman, Royce Freeman. Getting the season, it's the fucking Philip Lindsay show. You know, Royce Freeman was like a non-factor. He just so like you said, like cocky and arrogant of like he acts like he knows everything. I've never really paid attention to see if he deletes his posts though, but he does stuff like that.
Oh no, yeah, he deletes his shit.
See, that's-
He'll get stuff wrong and he'll delete it later.
See, but that's the thing. You got if as like
You got to admit you're wrong.
you have to admit you're wrong because it's only gonna make you better. Like you touched on it. You said yeah, like you know when I'm wrong, I like to figure out why was I wrong. What did I miss? What did I overlook?
and we
what did
can-
I misjudge in a sense.
And here's the thing: when we're wrong on things, we'll admit it too because we're gonna bring it onto the and explain why we were wrong. Like just like you said, we're gonna figure it out together.
Yeah.
As a listener and as a podcaster, we're gonna all be on the same page and figure out. Oh fuck, this is why. It's a learning experience, man.
Yeah, I straight up told Tyler, I was like, I like to be wrong. I was like, I like to have misses because then I can go back and be like, okay, why did I miss? Like, who was right in the opinion and why were they right? Instead of just being like, I'm fucking right about everything. I'm a closed-minded motherfucker. It's like, no, I'm not closed-minded at all. Like you have to be open-minded in fantasy. You have to be willing to adapt, change. Like, you're gonna miss almost just as much as you're right. And it's like, but the only way to be right more often is to be open-minded and admit that you made a wrong call. Look at why you made the wrong call. At the end of the day, like none of us fucking know shit. I don't give
We're
a fuck who
gambling,
you are or
dude.
where you're from. None of us know fucking
You're
shit.
really gambling.
Yeah, we're
You're just
gambling.
making educated guesses.
You have a better educated guess at what is going to happen. There's no, I told you this, I told you that. Well, no, because you don't fucking know at the end of the day. It's the NFL. We don't know what's going on. We're taking guesses. You know, we're all formulating opinions, and we're taking opinions from other people's opinions into our own opinion. And basically, we're just making a fucking guess. So I can't stand when people, though, like whether it's whoever is acting like they know everything. Like, you know, everyone's going to be wrong year in and year out.
I just want to say, don't trust it, man. It's just like when people come in with this false confidence, it's really like, I just can't trust it. I don't know.
False confidence.
It's like they're like this player's gonna be top. I mean, bro, this motherfucker put number one. He put Juju Smith-Schuster as number one overall wide receiver. I disagree big time with this.
Yeah, I would disagree. I
I
don't
think
think
it's a
Juju is.
possibility,
I think
but
he
top
can maybe finish top 5.
I think
Top
I
three,
think he's
maybe.
gonna have a tough time finishing one. Could it happen? I mean, could he get 190 targets? Like, I mean, yeah, I guess it could happen. But do I think it's gonna? No. I think he's gonna
There's
have
so
a
many
little
good
bit of struggles.
receivers. I'm never gonna sleep on Julio Jones. I think Julio Jones is maybe I'm just a fan favorite, but I mean him, and then you got Nuke Hopkins, and you got Devontae Adams, who was maybe he didn't finish his number one, but I mean the guy was just so consistent last year. He was so
Yeah, well,
he
it was
didn't have a
his-
single dud game the whole
his-
year.
Well, he would have been number one, I think, if he would have played the last, because he didn't play the last game, I think, right?
I can't remember, but just I mean, like I said, Devontae Adams, he just monster year for him. You know, and then you just got players like that. You know, you got Michael Thomas, who's obviously
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Like I
so-
said, the thing with Juju, like he's gonna have to go against the. It's a whole different ball game when you're going against the number one corner every single week, and on top of it, they do play the Ravens twice a year. So who's to say that Jimmy Smith and the other corners and that defense backs can't shut him down twice a year? You know, Fitzpatrick was actually for the Bengals was a good corner last year. The Browns are gonna have
Denzel Ward was a
who
Pro
who
Bowler
was
as a
Pro
rookie
Bowler
last year.
2 times a year, and the Browns defense might actually be, if they could bolster that up even more this year.
Yeah, they got better for
He
sure.
might have some struggles just within the division alone, and that's not even seeing what their schedule is. So I'm not going to have Juju as number one. Is he going to be in my top 10? Yeah, for sure. He'll be in the top 10. I
Yeah.
haven't done my rankings yet, but, you know, I can't slate him ahead of some other guys yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
But
like
that's-
Odell, maybe like I mean, maybe
See, I
cuss
might
right
have
there.
him ahead of Odell.
I think you put like Juju, AB, and Odell maybe in that same range or what? Off the top of your head,
Juju who?
Odell, Juju, and AB like all in the same like tier.
Tier? Yeah. Tier drop.
Yeah. Do you put Juju in front of AB?
I'd
I
probably
think I
put
do.
Juju in front
Yeah.
of AB.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy, right?
I would.
I just don't trust Derek Carr.
I had to run through a lot in my head. I think the touchdown upside for Juju in that offense is higher than with Derek
Like
Carr.
we see the rapport with Ben and Juju. We know it's there. We know that he trusts him and he'll target him. We saw how Derek Carr was just like almost like afraid to throw the ball to Amari Cooper, and then we know that Amari Cooper's not. It's not like he's not talented. It's not like he can't get separation. It's not like he can't run routes because he's getting it done in Dallas. We just saw how like Derek Carr sometimes would just totally like forget about him. I think he'll get AB more involved than he did Cooper, but there could be some games where maybe he doesn't get 10 targets. Maybe he only gets like 4 or 5 targets a game.
I wonder if he's gonna throw tantrums over there too.
AB.
Could. I mean, I don't know, man. He got paid. I think he's kind of that was like his
I
last
think
big
it's just like,
payday.
this is his like victory lap.
Yeah,
almost.
it's like retirement tour in a sense. Like
yeah.
he's about to come to Vegas. No,
Todd
there's
Gurley
no
had
state
17
tax.
touchdowns.
17.
Yeah. I do also know that he was. I believe he said
Ridiculous.
Melvin Gordon was going to be a bust, which Melvin Gordon definitely.
Yeah,
was a
that's what I'm
bust.
saying.
Ooh,
Is he said he would. Yeah.
I just hate how arrogant and cocky that fool is.
Yeah, he drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I just like when you're that cocky over shit that I know you don't know. It's like football better. It's like or just
It's like those guys who like you
gamblers,
see at
pro
the sports
bettors.
book where they're like, I told you to fucking bet so and so, and yet their bank account's fucking negative.
Or dude,
I told you to play the Chargers
those
in the over.
those handicappers
Yeah.
that they'll play literally like 4 different bets. They'll play like every bet and then
Yeah.
they'll hit one of them and then they'll
He's like
post a
he's like
picture.
the Vegas day of a fantasy.
Yeah, dude, and then fucking remember that guy?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for real. Like they it's just you're bullshitting everybody. I just don't believe you, and I'm warning you. Just don't take it from us. We have educated guesses, and we'll admit to you they're educated guesses. But I'm not gonna fucking sit here and tell you Melvin Gordon's gonna be a bust. Juju Smith-Schuster's gonna be the number 1.
And we're not gonna delete fucking our posts to
wrongs.
fucking
I want you to see the wrong so you know that we're wrong.
yeah.
Straight up. Fuck
Yeah.
that shit. Bear.
Anything else you guys want to add on this episode? 53 of the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast.
Dude, we started firing shots at 53.
Bro, 53, dude. Honestly, dude, this is what I think.
Yeah, I wasn't even ready to fire shots, but I'm with my boys. So when they fire shots, I fire shots.
Yeah.
Chitty chitty bang bang, nigga.
Dude, here's the thing. Here's the thing, dude. Is everybody says that out of all the fantasy football Instagram pages, that fantasy football counselor smells the worst.
Is it because Kane smells like bacon?
It's actually been
Does he
rated.
hang out with CJ Anderson?
It's been rated. Actually, like it's actually
CJ Anderson.
everybody says so. It's crazy, dude.
Oh, you just got the tweet
Yeah,
on your,
yeah,
sleeper,
I just
on your
got a
sleeper
tweet.
bot.
Yeah, I just got a tweet that smelliest Instagram.
All right,
there.
let's wrap this up. Hit us with the handles, the plugs.
Here's the thing, dude. Follow us on Average Bros _ Fantasy Football on Instagram. Check us out. Twitter, Average Bros FFP. I mostly just talk shit to all the pro athletes when they say stuff, and I kind of just, I don't know, fuck around on that. Check us out on Twitch, Average Bros FFP. Please, if you listen to us audio-wise or just in general, just go to our Apple Podcasts. Give us a review. Give us a 5-star. Fuck it, dude. Just rate us. Give me a 3-star. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, bro.
No. Just kidding.
4 stars
Five,
or above.
five,
5
5
stars or above.
Listen, dude.
Did you process if you can go above 5 stars? As you look at this guy. Also, if you come into Marquee, find Tyler and ask him if you're fucking massive.
Be big as fuck.
I'll tell you. If you come to Marquee, I'll hand you the magic mushroom. Bloop, 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 and you'll get up there.
If anyone wants free entry, you can hit us up.
Yeah, for real.
Not for real, though. We get you Natty Club.
Yeah, come to Vegas. Hit us up. All right. That's all I got for you. Thank you for listening. Appreciate you. That's all I got. What? Anything you guys got?
Nah.
Nah. YouTube, everything. Do it.
Did you get us the handles?
Do it to it. Yeah, that's all.
You can follow Mike at I Make Weird Jokes on Instagram.
Yeah.
with hammers.
Yeah,
You can follow
yeah.
me at I Read Fake Books.
Yeah, reading Rainbow.
And you can follow Tyler at no one calls him T on Instagram.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
what?
change my fucking Facebook name to It's Your Boy T.
No, you're gonna change your. Dude, your Instagram is all just inspirational quotes.
How about you suck me?
Damn, dude, I hit a fucking nerve right there.
That was very inspirational.
All right, man. Let's get the fuck out of here, dude.
All right.
Suck me.